I don't know what happened. The internet went out or something. So y'all have to let me know if you're back. I think we are, but y'all are gonna have to let me know. I'm not sure what happened. I apologize, General. I think half of your call probably didn't get streamed out. I don't know what happened. I wasn't paying attention to the screen because, to be honest with you, you almost put me to sleep when you started talking about college basketball recruiting. And when I looked up, the stream had died. So are we back? Y'all can hear me in the chat. 706-510-6817 is the number if you want to be on the show. Sorry about that. I have no idea what happened there. Okay, yeah, they said we're back. All right, so sorry about that. General was talking about college basketball recruiting. So again, General, I apologize, but I think probably the last couple of minutes of your call didn't get streamed out. So Uncle Lou apologizes to you. Yeah. 706-510-6817 is the number if you want to be on the show, or let's just listen to this. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Good morning, Uncle Lou. It's McGee Sports 4.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, to answer your question, Jimbo Fisher is not even close in my opinion. Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M. I think that he has a chance to win 10 games this year. They went 9-4 last year. I think he has a chance to go maybe 10-2. I'm kind of high on them. The main reason why I'm calling, though, this kind of relates to the subject is
hold on. I just have to stop you there because you seem like an intelligent person, so I'm going to give you a chance to explain yourself. When you say Texas A&M, I'm not going to disagree with you that Jimbo Fisher may be the best of the bunch when it comes to these second-year coaches. But I want to know how you plan on him going 10-2.
Jimbo Fisher 10-2.
Yeah. Name the two losses.
Well, I have them going 9-3. I'm just saying they could go 10-2. I personally have them going 9-3. But I think they probably lose to Clemson. They probably lose to Georgia, and they're probably going to lose to either LSU or Alabama.
If 9-3. All right. 9-3.
Yeah.
I guess maybe that's possible. If Texas A&M goes 9-3, then Jimbo Fisher is definitely the best second-year coach of any of these people, without question. Period.
Yeah, I was just saying they have a chance to go 10-2. But the real reason why I called was because of I want to talk about Nebraska and Scott Frost. I think that team's the most overrated team in college football. There's no way they're going to jump to 4 wins to 10 wins.
How are they? How are they the most overrated team in college football? Who's overrating them besides me?
A lot of people on these chats and stuff, Uncle Lou.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, 4 wins, they're not going to jump to 4 wins to 10 wins. I mean, they might jump to 4 wins to 8 wins, but I don't think they're going to jump to 4 wins to 10 wins. I mean, Todd Herman, he had 7 wins his first year, and he jumped to 10 wins. So I don't see a 6-win jump there at Nebraska. I think they're going to be a decent team, but I just don't see 10 wins. I don't really see 9 wins, if you want me to be completely honest with you, but maybe 8 wins. But I just do not see 4 wins to 10 wins like some of these people are saying.
I saw a team do that last year.
Who?
Florida.
I mean, I just don't see it. I think that was like stuff that I think that was where Florida did 4 wins to 10 wins.
What was Scott Frost's record his first year at Central Florida?
7-6. I believe. Yeah, 7-6.
And what was his record the second year?
13-0. But that's a group of 5 school. This is Power 5 football.
That is true. This is Power 5 football. You are correct.
So I just want to make that quick point. I just think there's no way that Nebraska's going to jump to 4 wins to 10 wins. I just don't see it.
So who do you think wins the Big Ten West?
I have Iowa winning it.
The division is that bad, huh?
I do think it's pretty bad. I think there's a bunch of decent teams. I don't think there's really a great team in the Big Ten West. Last year, it was an 8-4 team in Northwestern who lost a bunch of non-conference games that got in to the Big Ten championship. So I don't really think that there's really like an elite team in the Big Ten West.
The Big Ten West is like the ACC. Atlantic.
I'll give you that.
The bad. Which is the bad one? The Atlantic or the Coastal? Which one is Clemson's in the what? Atlantic.
Coastal is the bad one. The Coastal is the bad one. Because,
that's what they should do.
Yeah.
That's what they should do. The Coastal is the bad one. So they should make the winner of the ACC Atlantic, Clemson, should play the winner of the Big Ten East in a conference title game, and then the winner of the Big Ten West should play the other ACC. Then you'd get 6-6 Northwestern against 6-6 Pittsburgh.
That is true.
Yeah, that's very true.
That would be interesting, but they're never going to do that.
I don't think the Taters are interested in that.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a really elite team in the Big Ten this year anyway, so.
What about Michigan, though?
I think 10-2 personally.
Yeah.
They're going to lose to Ohio State for like the 1 millionth year in a row, and they'll probably slip up elsewhere.
Unacceptable.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the call.
Okay.
706-510-6817 is the number if you want to be on the show. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Ludo.
Good morning, Uncle Lou. It's Buckeye Tom.
What's up, buddy?
Oh, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Got off in time to catch the show, so I figured I'd call in.
Yeah, I appreciate it. What's on your mind today?
So, on a technicality, would Ryan Day count as a second-year head coach?
No, first year. I know he coached first, or pretend coached the first 3 or 4 games, but no, I don't think that would be fair to include him here.
Yeah, I figured I'd throw you a curveball.
Yeah.
But,
I think he'll be good. I mean, he's in a situation similar to Lincoln Riley. I mean, he's inheriting a playoff caliber team, you know. So, now that doesn't necessarily mean Ryan Day will make the playoffs in year 1, but he's inheriting a loaded team. So he could have a really, really good year, especially if Justin Fields turns out to know what he's doing. You there? I don't know what happened. Call back, sir. I don't know what happened. If you were talking, I couldn't hear anything you were saying. 706-510-6817 is the number if you want to be on the show. That's the number to call. Yeah. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
hey, Lou, sorry about that. I think I dropped my call.
Oh, okay.
But, it's Buckeye Tom.
Yeah. No, what I was saying is Ohio State could have a really good year, even though it's Ryan Day's first year, especially if Justin Fields turns out to know what he's doing.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about comparing him to Lincoln Riley, and that seems to be what everyone's doing.
Right.
But I kind of think he's trying to break out and kind of make a name for himself and not be put in the category as, oh, well, this is what Oklahoma did.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's
unfortunately, that's impossible. I mean, people are going to make that comparison because it is a pretty similar circumstance.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But, no, the obvious answers are Jimbo Fisher and Scott Frost. But as far as that goes, I've kind of was thinking everyone's so high in Nebraska this year. Everybody thinks Nebraska's, going to take the Big Ten West and, chances of playoffs and all this other stuff because of Scott Frost, which may happen. But my question is do you think with everyone hyping up Nebraska as much as they do, let's say they go, 7-5, something like that. Is that going to be a major disappointment and kind of to everybody that's hyping them up so much?
Yeah, I think 7-5 would be a disappointment. They have a very favorable schedule. They avoid a couple of the bigger teams in the Big Ten. Some of the tougher games they do have are at home, and they're in a really weak. I mean, the winner of that division last year was 6-6 or 7-5, something like that. So 8-5 or 8-4. I mean, I don't think Nebraska's a playoff team no matter what. I don't think they're talented enough. I like Adrian Martinez. He's got to stay healthy. The defense has got to play a lot better. I don't think Nebraska's a playoff team, but because that division is so weak, I think if Nebraska can get to 8 or 9 wins, they have a chance to win that division, depending on who they beat and who they lose to be tiebreakers and things like that. But I don't think they'll go 10-2 either, but I think they could win that division.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, with Scott Frost, it's one extreme or the other. You're going to go 0-12 or you're going to go 13-0.
Right.
You get up here, and he goes to Nebraska, and then it's 4-8, and it's kind of a gray area. Now, is he going to go 8-4, or is he going to can he break 10-2?
I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. I think there are a lot of coaches who could take Nebraska's team and Nebraska's roster and go 7-5. So if he goes 8-4 or better, then I think he's done a good job this year. I don't think 7-5. If Nebraska goes 7-5, yes, that's an improvement over year one. But I don't think you could point at this season with this schedule at Nebraska if they're 7-5 and go, Scott Frost did a great job. I don't think that would be the case for 7 wins this year. He's got to do better than that.
With him coming in as a national championship coach, people are expecting so much from him, and that's kind of why I was wondering. He's got a lot of pressure on him to bring Nebraska back to relevancy, and so
yeah,
I'm not saying that he's not a great coach or anything, but that's why I'm kind of curious if it will be a disappointment. I mean, yes, let's make a bowl game and everything, but with that being said, is he going to be an average coach in a Power 5 conference, or is he going to? Because I mean, you see what he did in the Group of 5, but Power 5 is a little different.
Oh yeah, obviously. So, I mean, I think this year will tell a lot. I mean, yes, it's only his second year, but he's got a perfect quarterback for his system that had a really good year last year. Now, he had some injury issues, and you got to avoid that. If Adrian Martinez goes down, then just forget it. And he's got to get it figured out on the defensive side of the ball. You got to get better over there.
Well, well, it's an offensive game nowadays too. So, I don't know.
Try telling Oklahoma that. I mean, Oklahoma scores 80 points a game and can't win a playoff game. So I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Now it's not like it. I mean, Alabama used to win national titles by beating LSU 9-3. Can't do that anymore. But you still have to have a defense. I mean, you can win the Big 12 without a defense, but you're not going to win a play. You're not beating Clemson or Alabama without a defense.
Well, see, that was the thing is I've got 4 years of eligibility left. I thought about going and playing defense for Oklahoma, getting a free education out of it.
You should. Yeah, it would be worth a shot. I mean, they were 130th in America in defense last year. It's pitiful.
Well, I don't know if you can tell from the accent. I actually live in Tennessee.
Okay.
So, but so I've got to, and I'm not a Tennessee fan whatsoever, but I do have to acknowledge the fact that I think that Jeremy Pruitt probably will do better this year than last year. I mean,
I think so too.
Everyone's kind of pointing Tennessee out like they're gonna, they've already kind of hit rock bottom at this point. When you keep Butch Jones around because they have no better choice and everybody wants him fired, it is Rocky flop.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I mean, there's a couple of benchmarks Tennessee's got to hit. Nobody in their right mind thinks Tennessee's winning the East, but you got to beat Vanderbilt. You got to get bowl eligible, and you can't lose to UAB or BYU. You just can't. You've got to stop losing games like that. You got to be able to look at, in order to make a run in the SEC or really in any conference. You got to look at your schedule before the season starts and almost know for a fact you've got about 5 or 6 guaranteed wins. And Tennessee hasn't been able to look at a schedule with 5 or 6 guaranteed wins in a long time. You got to stop losing to Vandy. Not you, I'm talking to Tennessee, but you got to get back to where you're beating Vandy consistently. You got to beat these non-con teams. There's a possibility if Tennessee doesn't get a lot better than they were last year, UAB could beat them. UAB is a really good team.
Well, that's the thing. Would it surprise you if UAB beat them, but they were still bowl eligible in the third? They pull off?
No, it wouldn't surprise me. But Tennessee fans, Tennessee can't lose games like that and then try to convince people that they're headed in the right direction. I'm sorry, they have to stop. It's been way too long. You can't lose to Wyoming in 2007 and then lose to UAB in 2019 and have more losing seasons than winning seasons in between those two losses and try to tell me Tennessee's headed in the right direction. They're treading water. There's no excuse. UAB is a good team. They shouldn't be competing with Tennessee. The fact that it's even a possibility is embarrassing.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was the thing is, what was it, 2 years ago when they tried getting Schiano? Well, they got Schiano.
Right.
I was surprised. I've never seen. Who's going to let the fan base decide the coach? I've never seen that before. Schiano gets hired, and then everybody is out there tweeting.
Yeah.
They don't.
And
even
it's not like there was
It's
not like there was a line down the hallway of the Tennessee athletic director's office of coaches that wanted that job. Upwards of 9 or 10 coaches turned that job down. Let's be real. Whether Jeremy Pruitt turns out to be the greatest coach ever or the worst coach ever, he was the only coach that wanted that job, and no other school wanted Jeremy Pruitt. That's the only reason Pruitt is there. You have coaches I've never heard of were turning that job down. It was bad. It was real bad.
Well, I know that you deal with a lot of, Tennessee fans that are going 15-0 this year, 16-0. But I will say that around here, it has been quiet ever since Butch Jones left. A lot of my friends that are Tennessee fans, they were hyping them up, and 3 years ago, was it 3 years ago when they were ranked 9th preseason, I think, and they
beat Georgia and Florida. That was 2016.
They almost lost to they almost lost to App State. They had to go to overtime and all that other stuff with them.
They beat Georgia and Florida.
On them.
Yeah, they beat Georgia and Florida. They were sitting first place in the East. All they had to do was beat either South Carolina or Vandy at the end of the year, and they lost to both of them and let Florida win the East.
And lost to both. Yep, I remember that. But it's funny because ever since then, you don't hear anything like, it feels like 98 anymore around here. Like they have. That's what I'm saying. They have hit rock bottom at this point. They wear all the shirts and the hats and all that stuff, but nobody talks Tennessee football. The only thing I don't know if you noticed this, but not one single Tennessee player got drafted.
Yeah. Well, that's happened several times. Yeah, that's happened several times over the last 5 or 6 years.
Unless you count Jalen Hurts.
Right.
But that was it.
Yeah.
So, but no, it is kind of funny though. So, but to get to my point, I do think that Tennessee will make a bowl game this year. Now, which 6 games they're going to win to get there? Close your eyes and point at the schedule. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, I will give them the benefit of the doubt that they'll make a bowl game. I don't know if anyone's called in with Tennessee yet, but that's where my money would be, at least. So.
Yeah, I picked them to go 7-5 last year. I was probably a year early. I'll probably end up picking them to go about 7-5 this year too, and we'll see if they can get there.
I just think they'll sneak up on some team like they did Auburn last year, where Auburn wasn't expecting it. So you can only lose so many SEC games in a row.
It's weird. They beat Auburn and Kentucky, 2 ranked teams, and then get blown out by Vandy and Mizzou, and it's just what's going on.
It is fun because we live close to Nashville, so we go to Vandy games. We try and alternate every year. Whenever Tennessee comes, we try and go to that game. Now I'm not I watch Vanderbilt. I'm not a huge Vandy fan, but it is fun to go there because most of the stadium is orange. The majority of it, I'd say 75%. And they always end up walking out first. It's at least here recently, it's been pretty fun.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I appreciate the call.
Thank
you. It's a good call there. Have a good morning, sir.
5-star caller.
I think that was our first time hearing from him, so I'm glad you got through, sir. I hope you stick around here. We have a lot of fun once the season starts. No question. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Good morning, Uncle Lou. How you doing?
I'm doing good in that.
Glad to hear it. All right, so I want to get my thoughts on Tennessee real quick. I know I'm a Vandy fan, and we were going to say I'm biased. I'm not. Tennessee's worst case is 4-9. Tennessee's best case is not 5-7. It's 7-5. I don't think they can do any worse than going winless in conference, but if they did end up having that, they'd end up like 3-9 because they'd lose to BYU probably. But anyway,
they better not lose to the Flintstones.
Tennessee's schedule just depends. Like Tennessee's record is going to depend on if their O-line is situated. If their O-line is as bad as it was last year, forget a bowl game.
Okay.
Doesn't matter how good you want to say JG is, he can't do shit without an O-line.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But were you listening into the beginning of the show?
I was not.
Okay, good. The line came out today for the Georgia Vandy game. You want to guess what it is?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Half.
24.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? All right, call back in when you get back to civilization, sir. You're losing your signal there or something. I don't know where you're at. 706-510-6817 is the number. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Hi, Uncle Lou.
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
All right, two things. If you read Saturday Down South or any of the major college basketball publications, you might have heard the news that the NCAA said 6 teams would be getting major violations. Do you think it's LSU and Auburn? Because I feel it would be both. Even coming from an Auburn fan, I don't know how that whole situation with the assistant coach turned out. So I get your thoughts on that.
I'll be honest with you. Six college basketball programs could have got blown up today. I would have had no idea. I just don't follow it like that. So I would have no guess. I mean, I know there was some issues at LSU and they put their coach on leave and then they hired him back. I know there's been some issues, so a lot of smoke around the Auburn program, but I don't follow college basketball enough to really have an opinion on which 6 programs it might be that are in trouble. I mean, college basketball is dirty top to bottom. I mean, the whole, starting from the AAU system and all this so nothing would surprise me, but I have no clue who the 6 teams are or would be. No idea. It better not be Georgia, because if Georgia's cheating and still only winning 10 games a year, then I'm going to be pissed off. If you're going to cheat, you better have a great year.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not going to try to take up all your time. I just want to know your thoughts on, I get the comparison to Gus Malzahn to other coaches, but, as a coordinator and a head coach, he's been to 2 national championships and has beaten Nick Saban twice. The only other person to do that as a head coach is Dabo Swinney.
Okay, well, Kirby Smart has 6 national titles, so listen, being a coordinator, I really don't give a shit about anybody winning a national title as a coordinator, especially when they had Cam Newton as a quarterback. I really don't. It means absolutely nothing. Nothing.
As a head coach,
how many national titles does Jeremy Pruitt have? Is he an amazing coach too? I don't put any faith in that. I don't put any faith in that at all. 0, none. How many national titles did Nick Saban win as a defensive coordinator before he became a head coach? None. None. So you can be a defensive coordinator on a terrible team and still win national titles as a head coach. How many division titles does Dan Mullen have? Well, he was offensive coordinator for Florida when they won a national title with Tim Tebow. Shouldn't he have? I mean, so I just don't put any. I don't put any stock in that. I don't buy into that.
All right. Well, do you okay? If we're comparing head coaches, do you think Dan Mullen coaching record-wise is better than Gus Malzahn?
No.
Or not at all, because Gus
No.
won his division twice.
No. Dan Mullen is not better than Gus Malzahn. No.
So is he in the top 5 of SEC coaches, or is he in the top 7?
Who, Dan Mullen?
Because I read a bunch of... No, that's not on. Because I've read a bunch of conflicting polls. Because he's so inconsistent.
Well, Saban, Jimbo, and Kirby Smart are your top 3.
Okay, I can agree with that.
And then after that, it's an argument between Gus, Mullen. That's it.
All right. I can agree with you. All right, I'm going to let you get to another caller.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. 706-510-6817 is the number if you feel like you need to be on the show for some particular reason. Brent Venables won the national championship last year as coordinator at Clemson. Someone should hire him immediately. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou. All right. Yeah, you got to be ready to talk when you call in. 706-510-6817 is the number. If you want to be on the show, we got time for another couple of calls here. Who's watching the basketball game? What's the score on that thing? Somebody let me know in the comments section. Aren't they playing tonight? I know the Raptors are up, 3-2? What's my beef with Jeremy Pruitt? I don't have any beef with Jeremy Pruitt. I just don't think he's a good head coach. Has he done anything as a head coach that I haven't seen? I just don't think he's a good head coach. I mean, I've stated my opinions on Jeremy Pruitt a million times. He's a hothead. I don't think he doesn't deal well with authority. I don't think he gets along well with people. That doesn't mean he will or won't be a good or a great head coach, but he hasn't done anything so far that's impressed anybody. I mean, if you're happy or impressed that he went 5 or 7 just because you went 4 and 8 the year before, I don't know what to tell you. That 5 and 7 didn't impress me last year. Getting blown out by Vanderbilt didn't impress me. I mean, now 2-3 years down the road, maybe maybe we look back and he's a good coach at that point. I don't know, but I mean, a coach is only as good as his record says he is at the end of the day, and he's a losing coach right now, 5 and 7. So, exactly. He's only been a head coach 1 year, so how can you say one way or the other? All you can go by is his record, and he's 5 and 7 as a head coach. He's got a losing record. What was Butch Jones' record his first year as a head coach? I'm just asking. I believe it was 5 and 7 though. 85-83 Golden State. Is it over? How much time is left? What is the original fight song for UF? Dueling Banjos. Handsome R, thank you for the super chat. Slim Shady Canes, I see your 2 super chats too. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Good morning. You're on with Uncle Lou.
Yeah, I was just
try talking into the phone, okay? Talk into the phone because we can't hear you.
Is this better?
Yeah, that's better. The phone works. You got to hold the phone the right way.
Right.
We hear you good now.
So I just want to call in and say how I think that South Carolina is a little bit underrated. This might be a little bit biased, but I think that we could go 8-4 this year.
I disagree.
Georgia, Alabama, Clemson, Texas A&M.
I agree. You're losing those 4 games, but you'll lose a couple more.
Traveling. I'm concerned about at Tennessee though. That one's pretty tough going into Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean you got to play Georgia, Florida. I mean Georgia, Alabama, and Clemson. That's 3 losses. Texas A&M. That's probably a loss. I think Florida's probably a loss. I don't think there's any way you do any better than 7 and 5, and I think 6 and 6 or 5 and 7 is more likely. I mean,
Yeah.
Will Muschamp,
Yeah,
you know, we're talking about Jeremy Pruitt going 5-7 in 1 year, and you can't really judge on 1 year. Will Muschamp been a head coach for a long time, and he's never done anything that's impressed anybody. He's not a good
Yeah,
he's
I'm
not a
tired
good
of
head
people
coach.
just saying.
He's not a good head coach at all.
Yeah, I'm tired of Will Muschamp.
Yeah, you'll be point. You know, you got to take responsibility. Anyway, thank you for the
Yeah,
call. I
really
appreciate
is.
it. Thank you for the call.